Hello everybody, and welcome to this video on what I believe is the most ambitious modelling project I've ever attempted. I'm going to try and turn one locomotive into almost three. So let's take a look at what I'm doing. The picture you see before you is of a Great Central Railway Class 1, also known as an LNER B2, that later became the B19s. Only 6 of them were actually built in 1912 and 1913, and unfortunately all of the class were withdrawn by 1947. Right, that's a bit of the history. Now let's have a look at the kit I've bought. This is a K's kit, and as you can see, unfortunately it's seen better days. The mount here, you can see, has been broken in half, and if we have a look at the paperwork you can clearly see how important this one particular piece is. It'll have to be repaired and possibly partly refabricated and replaced. The boiler luckily is round, although unfortunately the casting isn't brilliant, and although I've had a good go at cleaning it up, it may well have to be replaced with a little bit of brass tubing. Similar problems are being found with things like the cab roof, where you can see unfortunately bits of it are missing from the casting and other parts have been cleaned away, so again detail to be added later. All in all, there's a lot of work to be done here, and it's going to be a tricky one. The biggest issue I'm facing is the fact that somebody's already started this kit and they tried to put the whole thing together using super glue, which has become a bit of a problem. The other issue is things like this. You can see here the chassis has been put together, and unfortunately we're missing a nut that holds that wheel on. The rods are bent, and there's been some damage to the thread. Also, if I open up the box and take out what's left in here, you can see pony wheels have been fitted not brilliantly, and one of them actually shattered. This happened when I touched it and went to move it to square it on the axle, and it just cracked up like eggshells. A bit of a problem. Again, it's something I can rectify by having to buy some new ones when the time comes. So, now we've seen the first bit of the big project, let's have a look at what else we've got on the to-do list. Here's my project shelf, and we'll begin with looking at my GCR Class 8, also known as the LNER B5, later the BR Class 3 MT. 14 of them were built from 1902, and the last of the class was withdrawn in 1950. I was fortunate enough to actually buy this kit partly done from eBay, but as you can see some bits needed changing. Donor wheels were supplied from one of my D11s, as you can see there, and the tender which came with it, a nice little white metal item, is of the early variant which I wanted to change out for the later one as used by the LNER and later BR. So here we have a tender removed from a pom-pom J11. That of course will be changed again soon. With the tender from this, a D11 Class 2, which I've purchased especially as a donor loco for the B5 and other locos on the shelf. I bought it, we'll call it cheaply, from eBay because of the damage to the cab window you can see here. Nothing serious, as I don't need the cab. But I do need the tender. As you can see, there are some differences between Robinson's tenders, and we'll have a little look at what those are now. Luckily for me, the B5s actually did use various tenders over their lives, but I'm going to go with the one on the right. It's actually being sat on the shelf behind my GCR Class 1A. Of course, that's going to be changed out as well in due course. The 1As, or LNER B8s, later became the British Rail Class 5 MT, were all introduced in 1913, and 11 of them were actually built. They were known as the Almond class, and they're basically the same as the Sam Fay, the Class 1s, but they had smaller driving wheels. The last of this particular class was withdrawn in 1949. These were the first Robinson locos to actually be built with a top feed fitted, as standard. They're also worth noting that 3 of the class were actually fitted with oil burning equipment. 2 of them were reverted back to coal in about 1921, but number 443 actually kept hold of its oil burner as it was used in the colloidal fuel experiments up until 1923. So for this model I shall be kit building a tender and actually having it as one of the oil burning variants. Now we've had a little look at that, I'll revert to a couple of models I'm sadly missing. Since moving house, I've carelessly mislaid my Robinson A5, as you can see here on a previous layout, and a kit-built 8B, also known as the LNER C4. Hopefully both of these will come to light soon. And that's it for this video then, guys. Obviously you can understand it's going to take me a while to get through all these projects, so there won't be any updates for a while. So I'll just leave you now by saying thank you all for watching, and bye for now.